Welcome back everyone, and welcome to a reaction video. Yes, I suppose I do need to fulfill a certain YouTube quota every once in a while. So as you can currently see here, I am currently packing for a trip to Italy I'm about to take next week. So while I'm doing that, of course I cannot also make such high quality videos as one of them. So today we'll be reacting to Mortal Kombat 2021, and specifically the opening fight scene between, well, Scorpion, or, you know, he's not technically Scorpion by the time of this point, he's still, I'm blanking on the name. Hasashi. He's still, you know, human, and of course then Bihard as well. Let's get started. So isn't this film like the first time that in the canon of Scorpion's backstory that there is a survivor of the Shira Ryu? Isn't it overall a big part of his vengeful character that not just that his family was killed, but that the entirety of the Shira Ryu, his clan, was also killed? So if there's a survivor, as we find out later, does that not negate or take away from his motivation a little bit? I am here to avenge my clan and my family, except for that one person that survived. Well, they only did it to then, you know, the whole Liam Cole thing, so... Oh, they make it so lovely right before they're all about to die. And there's what's going to be the kunai. Is that what it's called? I like that they still reference like the origins of all these sorts of weapons. That what the legend around how these weapons came about. That oh, they are from farming equipment, from tools, and then repurposed. I like how they make reference to that. I get that it's an adaptation and such, and you need to do your own thing, but what's with the... kind of takes away from the reason of these people are the champions of Earthrealm if they are granted superpowers. Kind of just means that just anyone can just have one of those things, and just because they have it, they are automatically a champion. It's not based on their skill, or their prowess, or their morality, they just have it. It seems odd. Well, no, they have to kill people in order to get it. Or they have to be born with it. So, it seems rather like, that it gives them superpowers later on. It sort of takes away from the characters a little bit. It's not like something you have to... Your powers are not something you have to earn through skill or hard work. No, you're just granted them. It's magic. I don't know. I'm not sure it really vibes with what Mortal Kombat goes for. We know why. Wait. Nah, they're a prop. It's so clearly a prop! It's a plastic thing! I mean, it makes sense, but I mean... okay, let's take it... Let's be optimistic here and say at least it's not like the Twilight baby or something, where it's just awful CGI. Let's at least say that, and at least they didn't bury a real baby underneath cardboard, or wood, or anything. Oh my goodness, but... oh dear. I haven't even gotten to the fight scene yet, and I'm already entertained. Do they ever make clear in this franchise that, or in this version of it, that the Lin Kuei and the Shira Ryu are sister clans? or that the Shiro Ryu were offsets of the Lin Kuei. Did they ever make that clear in this one? Or they just know of Hanzo?
Hanzo どこだ?
Wait, it's an interesting detail actually that the cold actually causes him to have like blisters on his hands. Like he's not immune to like frostbite or anything. That's like an interesting Achilles heel. They could have even explained that with something like there's like the Grandmaster's amulet, isn't there, in the franchise. They could have even said, oh, without that, your frost powers are unstable, are destructive if you use them in large quantities, but that stabilizes. If, you know, it was actual magic powers that you had to attain a skill at, and not something that was just granted to you via some blooming mark. They even could have added an attainable goal for Bihan outside of just being an arsehole. Him just gaining skill or gaining recognition within the Lin Kuei in order to get that amulet to stabilize his powers, and so that he wouldn't feel this pain every time he uses them. You know, an attainable goal, rather than just being some prick. Oh, this actor, man. I have to see more films he's in. He's in John Wick 4 as well. Hiroyuki Sanada, I think is his name. Ah.
Smart.
Man, who knew getting fridged could be so literal? Roll. Wait, were those Dao swords they were holding as well? It's like Chinese broadswords. Good touch. I gotta slow this down. Hold on. One of the few actors that can make reverse grip work. Also, it was a knife throat slit. Ooh, straight to the gullet as well. Ooh. Blocked it. Ah, bloody angle. There we go, a bit better. Even though the blood is CGI, it still gets across the gore of it. That's always good. Always good, a good sword throw. What are these masks that they have? I'm not sure if that's really a thing, and that's more of a Japanese thing. That's not a Chinese thing. Is that a Chinese thing? To wear masks and such? I get why, it's an intimidation tactic, but that's not really a thing in China. Is it? It's Japanese, but that's more of a Japanese thing. This is gonna get fun. But what's with it having the detailing on the handle? What's with that? Is that supposed to be some implied backstory that this was something he used as a weapon, but they've repurposed it into a gardening tool, or it was always a gardening tool, but it was an extra fancy gardening tool because they're rich? We don't know. I'm assuming the former because he's proficient with it. It's not just something he just picked up and just instantly knows how to use. Clearly the rope is CGI because, yeah, that move there. In the strokes of it, it could work. Like, in terms of the physics of it, that's something which is possible, but it doesn't have that it's too fluid. It's not, because it goes from, if I use this to showcase what I mean. So it goes from sweeping around to sweeping around to sweeping around like this to suddenly stab forwards. Like, the physics doesn't make sense. It would only make sense if it swung around, he caught it, rechambered it, and then went. Because otherwise it would just sweep around, because the physics doesn't make sense there, so it has to be CG. Don't really care though, because Haruyuki Sanada still carries the scene. Just using it as a straight-up knife as well, that's just good. I need to try some of this myself in training. This is fun. See, again, it's done that again, where instead of... Is that possible, actually? Am I wrong? As it looks as though what happened that time, in that second time he did it, was that it swung around and then he pivoted it so that then it turned into a harpoon or something and just went like that. Is that what he did? Like, the mass of it, of the end of it, with the knife at the end, caused it to go like... Is that what happened? A part of me wants to put together something to test this for myself, or find a video where it's done, and see for myself whether it's actually possible, or this is just bull. I don't know. As it looks like it's possible, because it looks as though he makes it go taut, so that then it just flies forward with the end, with the physics of the end. It turns into just a pendulum. But I don't know. See, the way they say it, it's like there's a rapport history. Oh, yes. Very fun. Oh, he's trying to gut him as well. Like, he's driving the... He's trying to gut him as well, so he's not just stabbed him, but he's also bringing it upwards. So he's being pretty much drawn. That's the part of it, right? He's being drawn. Oh, so that's just an extra layer of... Oh. Was that Tiger Style that he was using then? Because it looked like he had that movement of... Like, it looked as though he had that hand movement, like he had some Tiger there. Because Tiger Style, that's based in power. I was about to say, one of them is clearly getting more beat up than the other here. I mean... Oh, you can suddenly speak English, even though it's meant to be... This was the 1600s, right? Would modern English even have been around at this time? Films. Trying to think about how best to sum up my thoughts on it, really. I mean, I like it. It's a good fight scene. It is a really objectively good fight scene. And it is always fun to see the fights between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Taken on its own, it is a good fight scene. But then again, there's always those couple of just little editing parts of it where either something doesn't add up, or the CGI is just a bit unpolished, or there's a poor cut, poor angle which kind of takes you out of it. But overall, it's good when they just linger on the action and just show you what's happening, and resort to flashy tricks or gimmicks. You don't need to do that with... You don't need to have the gimmicks added in when you just have two good martial arts actors going at it in a good fight scene. The martial arts, the intricacy of the fights, of the action just carries it. You don't need to add in anything else. Might as well talk about the rest of the film, because, got some material, certainly. I mean, I get that it was the... Oh, I know why it was embroidered like that, why the handle was like that. It was because, I remember why, later on, it links to... It's given to Liam Cole, isn't it, the POV character. And the gold banding on it is meant to be similar to that armor stuff he wears, which he gets through that weird mark thingy.
There. Sure glad I don't look stupid in this.
I don't know why they even why did they add him to the film? I get that it was a POV character, but you had another POV character already set up that would have been perfect for it. Why not Johnny Cage? I think that's what everyone said. Why not have Johnny Cage in instead, with the same sort of plotline of him being an MMA fighter who's kind of failing at it? I think everyone has said that at some point or another. I mean, overall, Liam Cole is fine as a character goes. He's not offensive or anything, but it kind of takes up space which otherwise belongs to these other great characters. I mean, when you've got characters like Liu Kang, or Kung Lao, or well, you don't have Johnny Cage, but he took the place of Johnny Cage. But when you've got these other characters, but the focus is being taken up by this okay character, when you've got these great characters in the background, it kind of sours the rest of the film, you know? I'm just wondering now, how old is Bihan? If he was like a young man, we're assuming he was about the same age as, or maybe younger than Scorpion was in the 1600s, and then he makes it to the modern day as Sub-Zero. And if they're that old, then how old is Kwai Gang going to be when they bring him in? How are they going to explain that? I don't know, something about this, it just feels a bit off. You know what I mean? It feels... This film was good, but it felt off in places where it really shouldn't have. Of Scorpion and Sub-Zero constantly being revived to fight each other again and again. That sounds like quite the metaphor for how this franchise has gone on, hey? Just Scorpion and Sub-Zero, bring them back, have them fight each other again.
Something very familiar about all this.
I mean, I was hoping, because the new game is coming out soon, and it looks as though now they're brothers. I was thinking, oh, they're going to do that differently. It's going to be a different thing, where instead of them constantly fighting each other, they're working together as brothers from the start. And then it looks like, no, they're going to build up to it being the fighting again. But overall, it's okay. What did you yourself think? Let us know down in the comments below. What did you think of this film? Did you find it good, bad, okay? What did you make of the fight scenes? Whatever you thought, comment below, let us know. And until next time, peace be with you.